إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ به تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرسله الله بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة. من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أما بعد، معشر المسلمين، أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله عز وجل، فإن الله تعالى يقول بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. Now in this khutbah, encourage you, brothers and sisters in Islam, to read the Quran, to study it, to understand it, to practice it, and also to spread its message to the wider world. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directs our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, saying to him, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah." Invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom. Wal maw'izatil hasana, and with a beautiful preaching. Wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan, and argue with them in a way that is more gracious. The Quran instructs us to call the people of the book, Ta'alaw ila kalimatin sawa'in baynana wa baynakum alla na'budu illa Allah. Let us come to a word that is common between us and you, that we worship none but Allah, and that we take none as partners beside Allah. If they desist from this, then we are to say, وَاشْهَدْ بِأَنَّا مُسْلِمُونَ, bear witness that we are at least Muslims. The Quran tells us, therefore, that we are to start with things which are common between us and others. What is that beautiful way of preaching? That is the way of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's directed in Surah Yusuf. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي, say, this is my way. أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي. I call to the way of my Lord with basira, with clear evidence. أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي, I and those who follow me. So we are followers of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We also have to call to the way of Allah with clear evidence. What better evidence can be called with than the Quran itself, which is the word of Allah Azza wa Jal. So in the 25th chapter of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directs the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَجَاهِدْهُمْ بِهِ جِهَادًا كَبِيرًا, and struggle a great struggle against them with the Quran. So the Quran becomes that with which we make the jihad or the struggle. It is the Quran. Now the Quran, of course, is not a sword. It is not a weapon. But the Quran is that which will win over the hearts and minds of the others. And that is better than jihad with weapons. Because jihad with weapons may kill off the enemy. But jihad with the Quran will win over the enemy and make them one of you. Will bring them over from enmity and make him waliyun hamim, a warm friend. So if you think about it, if you kill off the enemy, then you're still the same number of Muslims. But if you win over the enemy, then you are greater in number. So we struggle and strive with the Quran. This is the greatest jihad, and it's the jihad in our present times. It is an intellectual jihad to prepare us to give da'wah, which is that jihad I'm speaking of, to prepare us to live the Quran and to preach it to others. We need to study and understand the Quran. Many non-Muslims have found difficulty in understanding the Quran. They said that the Quran appears to them as a jumbled book, with the pieces seeming to have been put together in an ad hoc manner, with topics changing one to another. They say they cannot make heads or tails of it. And in fact, I must confess that many Muslims also have difficulty seeing the flow of ideas in the Quran. Why does it change from topic to topic like this? In modern times, however, some non-Muslims, Orientalists, have studied the Quran, and they have pointed out some of the secrets of the Quran's arrangement. One such holy text. He emphasizes in this book that the Quran is arranged on the concept of symmetry. Things mirror each other and are tied together in a way that shows that there is a kind of duality. There is this and there is that, and the two match each other. To begin with, this work builds on the work of Muslim scholars who have shown that the surahs of the Quran are in pairs. And it is interesting to see some of these pairs. Now you know at a glance that Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas, the last two surahs of the Quran, are very close to each other in terms of its theme and its construction. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. One begins. The other one begins. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. So you see there is a kind of mirroring effect between these two. These two are a pair. But the scholars, including Raymond Farron, have gone through the entire Quran to show how surahs, two at a time, pair up with each other in terms of structure or content or similarity in its rhyme and its teachings. More than this, Raymond Farron has shown that the entire Quran, in fact, can be grouped together into 19 groups of surahs. And each one of these groups of surahs form what is called a ring. Now to explain that further, I have to speak about ring composition. There's another scholar by the name of Mary Douglas who has described this in her book, not speaking about the Quran, but more generally talking about ring composition, which is a type of composition that has a beginning and an end, and the beginning and the end tied to each other. And in that case, the meaning is in the middle. I want to illustrate that very quickly by referring to the last surah, or the shortest surah of the Quran, which is the 108th chapter, Surah Al-Kawthar, which says, Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar, fasalli li rabbika wanhar, inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. We have granted you the abundance. So offer prayer to your Lord and sacrifice. Certainly it is your detractor who will be cut off. The story behind this surah is that somebody was saying to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or about him, oh, he has no children, no male descendants, so he is cut off in terms of progeny. So the Prophet ﷺ is being assured in this surah that Allah has given him the abundance. And we can see one manifestation of this. Look at your large number here today. You're all followers of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in the year 1441 of the Hijrah. So he has been given an abundance of followers, in addition to whatever else abundance he has been given, as mentioned in the books of Tafasir. So he has not been given sons, but he has been given many sons among us. So Allah assures him that he has been given the abundance. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells him then, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. So offer prayer to your Lord as a way of giving thanks, and offer sacrifice as we do in the morning of Eid, Eid al-Adha. And then it says, Inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. It is your detractor who is actually cut off. Now if you think about this surah, you realize that the conclusion is actually in the middle. And it's what Mary Douglas was referring to more generally, without reference to the Quran, when she said that the meaning of such compositions is in the middle. Because look how that second ayah starts, with the letter Fa, which indicates consequence. Therefore, offer prayer to your Lord and sacrifice. That's actually the conclusion, but it is stated in the middle. The beginning and the end actually meet each other and continue the same discourse by saying, we have granted you the abundance, and then by contrast, it is your detractor who has been cut off. So you have not been cut off, it is your detractor who has been cut off. The beginning and the end mirror each other and continue the conversation, and the conclusion is in the middle. It's almost like if you have a ring, and then in the middle you have a gem on that ring. So that's the conclusion. beginning, Allah is described as Rabbul Alameen. He's the Lord of the worlds. And in the last surah, he's described as Rabbun Nas. He's the Lord of humankind. You see, there is a reflection back on what was stated at the beginning. The beginning of the Quran and the end actually meet each other. Now, when we think about how the Quran was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, over a period of 23 years, a little here and a little there, something would happen, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, suddenly gets a revelation that speaks about that occasion, that circumstance of revelation right then and there. It shows that he himself as a human being could not have pre-planned this book, nor did he, as far as we know, plan the final composition as a planner himself. All he did was try to remember the revelation as was given to him. In fact, it is mentioned that when Jibreel alayhi salam left him, it is as if the Quran was imprinted on his mind. He recited it to his followers. They wrote down the Quran on scattered bits of material. Some people had some bits of the writing, some people had some other bits of the writing. Some people memorized the whole thing from beginning to end as taught to them by the Prophet ﷺ. One such person was Zayd bin Thabit radiallahu anhu, and he went around to gather all of the written pieces together to form the written copy as we have it in our hands today. So now, this kind of study which we are looking at, with the surahs being in pairs, with the beginnings of surahs matching the ends of surahs, with the beginnings of groups added and matching the end of the group, with the beginning of the entire Quran matching the end of the Quran. This only can be studied when you have the whole thing written before you. How could this have been possible in the time of the Prophet ﷺ? In fact, it wasn't possible for anybody to do it. It took 1400 years for a scholar like Raymond Farron to come up with this conclusion and to prove that conclusion in his book, which I hold now before you. So what I put before you here is that just from this angle alone, we can see that the Quran is a revelation from the Almighty God. The Quran is from Allah Azza wa Jal. Only He had the master plan in His mind as to how this Quran is going to be fitted together, giving the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ a piece at a time, so that the humans on the ground could not see the overall plan, but that plan is seen now in hindsight, and what we're discovering is the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the entire Quran. My brothers and sisters in Islam, with these few words I encourage you to study the Quran on your own. Read the Quran, understand it, live it, and be determined to spread the message of this book to the wider world. Let us be followers of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was directed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preach the message, al-maw'izatil hasana, a beautiful preaching, and to argue in the most gracious manner possible. You live in a multicultural society, a society that embraces many different religions and peoples. You don't want to tear apart the fabric of your society, and at the same time you want to give the message. So how to do it? In a gracious manner, in a manner that you yourself would have liked to receive that message if you are on the receiving side. Have compassion for the people around you and help them to understand the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ به تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وصلى الله تعالى على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين والملائكة المقربين والخلفاء الراشدين أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم ووفق رئيسنا الدستوري والسلطان سلانغور دار الإحسان لما فيه صلاح وفلاح للبلاد والعباد. ربنا لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا قضيتها يا